15 things I wrote down. I'm going to go over and then I'll open up for a couple questions. The first thing is sad news that we lost one of our students. A member of the 277 named Logan Chen. I met with his family a couple of days after. It was during the papal visit. He got a cold or some kind of a cold. It turned out it was a bacterial infection. Mom took care of him on Thursday night. It seemed like he was fine. She basically said she gave him tea and said, go to bed, don't stay up all night playing your video games, which is what he liked to do. A lot of 15-year-old boys like to do that. Woke up the next morning, she gave him lemon tea, toast. He said he didn't want to go to the doctor. Mom, go to work, I'll be all right. And when she came home, she found him, he passed away. So, I know some parents had asked about meningitis. It was not meningitis. I was in constant contact with the health department. They did an autopsy. It got into his bloodstream, I don't know, probably through his throat and affected his brain. So, it was tragic. Only child, very sad. It was a rough Saturday. The teachers were there, a lot of students were there supporting the family. And the SA, the Student Association, has raised a lot of money for the family, so we'll be giving them a donation from the school. And the alumni who's also there, and they're supporting the family. So he lived in Chinatown. Very sad. I spoke with his elementary principal. She was there all around. Not a fun day. It's the second student we lost in the last 2 years. Last year we lost a student to cancer, to brain cancer. So they don't give you a playbook when you go to graduate school to be a principal and how to handle the situations. It's just very sad. It's the 7th student I've lost in 20 years. So Logan was a great kid. I knew him. The young lady who we lost last year I didn't really know because she was so ill she wasn't here very often. But this young man I knew. He was infectious, smile, great kid, and just a true tragedy. So I wanted to let you know. We had counselors in, we had school psychologists in. We went through his roster, we spoke with all of the students, and a couple kids needed some counseling. We did take care of that from the school district. So I want to let everyone else know, we do follow the safety protocols. It was not meningitis, and it was just a tragic event that happened. It was so quick, too. Very scary as a parent myself. 278, I want to welcome all the parents here from the 278. The class is off and running, already building a positive reputation in the building. I believe we're about 620 students in the 278, so large class, and you guys are doing very well so far. We got a gift from, if you know what's going on downtown, if you've been downtown at 12th and Market area, they've knocked down, they're going to rebuild, and they're renovating the gallery. There are sculptures outside the gallery. One is 2 giant metal towers coming together and it's exploding in the middle. It's called the Burst of Joy. That was sculpted in the 70s by, of course, the Central grad, and the Redevelopment Corporation has donated that to us, the school. It's a 2-piece donation. Part of it will hang from the ceiling in the library, and outside the Barnwell Library we will have that mounted. So we just did an SRC resolution. The district has given me permission to accept that, and we will be installing that. I don't know when. We're working with the Redevelopment Corporation, but it's exciting for a Central grad, a famous sculptor, and for them to donate that to the school. Yeah. His name is Harold Kimmelman. Kimmelman from the 176. He's done other sculptures around the city, but that's one of his more famous ones. So some data, AP scores this year from last year, we looked at it, broke down the data, was outstanding. We had a 7% increase from the year before. 70% of our students of the 921 assessments given passed with a 3 or better. Some of the highlights definitely were calculus again, Mr. Dragomir and Mr. Ovetsky. The AP Calculus A-B test, 47 students took it, 40 scored a 5. Perfect score. That's 85%. The national average is 15%. One of the reasons Florika Dragomir won the Teacher of the Year last year. So, we talk about budget crisis, but we continue to do well. And, 3 years ago, 52% of the students here scored a 3 or better. So we've gone from 52 to low 60s to now 70. So we want to continue to increase that. And we're not decreasing numbers either. We're always around 900 assessments given. So we're very proud of that. National Merit Scholars, we had 4 National Merit semifinals this year. 18 scored in the commended range. Very happy about that. There's only 4 schools in Philadelphia who had any National Merit Scholars. If you saw the papal visit, you saw one of our students who sang, Bobby Hill, so he's back. We're very proud of his performance. If you didn't see it, He was all over the country, seemed like. And he's also on our golf team that won the Public League Championship this week. So I wanted to highlight Bobby. Museum Day was today. We appreciate the support of the Homeland School. We had parents there. We had members of the alumni there. We had the entire 275 out at 4 different museums throughout the city. I got great reports from the teachers, administrators, and parents that were there. I know it was a fun day for the seniors. So we wanted to continue that tradition as always, and I know it went well. They were at the National Jewish Museum, Philadelphia Art Museum, Franklin Institute, and Eastern State Penitentiary. And I know we had 235 students at the Franklin Institute. So it was a busy day. What a great day for the 275. We have some new teachers in the building. I just want to recognize them and say their names. Ben Hover is a new English teacher. Tom Arat is a Spanish teacher. Tracy Albuck is math. Kathy Dobkin is math. Thoraya Saber is biology. And Avi Hockfield is social studies. So we were able to recruit, interview all of these candidates and bring them in. Some of them have 20 years experience. Some are brand new, right from student teaching. Avi Hockfield was a student teacher here last year. Blew away the staff and the students, and we were able to hire her for social studies. And then Tracy Albuck's been a math teacher for 20 years. Kathy Dobkin actually was a teacher at Masterman. We don't like to say that, but she also was an administrator, a principal, and decided that she wanted to be back in the classroom. Didn't like the administrative world. I kind of get that some days. And she's back and she's teaching mathematics for us. So we're happy to have them on board. Tom Arat is a great Spanish teacher. He left the district during the layoffs 3 years ago and went to Cherry Hill East High School. He was there for a number of years and we were able to recruit him back. But he was a teacher at Bodine for 9 years before that. So now that we're 100% site selection, it makes a big difference. We can interview candidates. The departments lead the interviews, so we have experts in all the content areas leading we always have an administrator involved, and then I get to make the final call. Of course, they want to put the pressure on me, but the candidates we brought in this year are outstanding, so we're really happy to have them on board. Robotics, this year we got a $25,000 anonymous grant, so robotics is fully funded this year. So we got some great press around going to the World Championships last year. The mayor helped us last year, and an organization has come forward and completely funded. We will have an assistant coach for robotics, the first time we've had that, which is great. That puts us on par with some of the private schools, and that's what we need. That kind of funding, so we're excited about that. CentralHigh.net. We are very organized this year around the calendar. We've already put the dates up for midterms, for finals, for a lot of things that are coming up, special events, so please continue to check the calendar. It's updated almost daily with what's going on and what's coming down the road. I've made that a big push with Terry Harrington, the assistant principal who works that for me. So we're trying to be organized. You can see the dates and you'll know in advance. Please don't book trips to go away February 2nd. That week, that is when we're doing midterms. It's always an issue, so be mindful of that because it's important. Shadowing is off and running. We're really excited. The alumni is not fun. The alumni is running shadowing. So we've had 250 8th graders in the building already. So our goal is to get around 600 or 700 in the building to really highlight what's going on. So we're excited about that. 3 years ago, we couldn't do it. We just didn't have the manpower or the funding to do it. Chuck Steinberg, who's a past president of the Alumni Association, member of the 221, has stepped up and he's been running it the last couple of years. We also have Jackie Bedoff. Ms. Bedoff is a retired assistant principal. Most of you probably remember her. She's going out doing recruiting. So we keep our counselors in the building. They don't have to do recruiting any longer. We have Ms. Bedoff to do that. So we're excited to have her back in that capacity to help with admissions and help with recruiting. So she's already made, I think, 15 school visits and has one every day of the week, basically, until November 13th. That's the end of the application window. Then I get to do the fun work and look at 5,000 applications. Fire alarm, you can see these new strobe lights. We have a new fire alarm system going in. So it's a $1.3 million renovation that will be done at the end of December. So we're excited about that. That program has been going great. The electricians in the building, the kids don't really even know. There's 4 of them, they're quiet, they're in and out, and they're doing a nice job. We're going to have a state-of-the-art fire alarm system, so we're happy about that.
Is it paid for by the district?
Yes, that's a capital improvement, yes. So the district spent $4.5 million on the lights and the electrical upgrade. Now this is part of that. This is the final phase of that electrical upgrade, another $1.3 million. Development updates and master plan. So if you've come to these meetings, I've been talking about where we're going with development. We have a pledge for $10 million from a member of our alumni association to build a performing arts building. It's a matching pledge. So we have to come up with the other $10 million. So I just want to give you an update where we are. The Alumni Association and I have met with multiple feasibility study groups. We've partnered with a company called Schultz Williams. They are going to go out and do a feasibility study. They're going to speak with 50 to 75 of our top donors, the most successful donors, people with the ability to give the money we need. And they're really going to figure out how much can we raise as a school. I'm hopeful that they come back and say you can raise $10 million easily. I don't know what they're going to say, but we are moving forward. It was kind of a vision. We talked about it last year. It is moving forward. We've also partnered with Becker Frondorf. It's a project management company, and we're working with some students and parents and some and teachers around a master plan for the school. What do we need to do to move our school forward? Sometimes it's the best time to do this is when the budget is thin. So we're moving forward, and you know, when I took the school over 4 years ago, I used to hear, go to your rich alumni, they'll give it to you. And it used to bother me, because it's not the rich alumni's responsibility to buy computers and books. That's the district and the state and the city. But now I'm at a point where they've forgotten about us, so we have to do what we have to do. So we're gonna raise money in a different kind of way. Public schools don't usually raise money like this. Boston Latin does. Stuyvesant in Manhattan, they do. And we have 18,000 alums that have never really been targeted in an organized manner to raise money. So we're going to go to them and ask them for the support we need. So I just want to let you all know that it is moving forward. We're hoping to have an architect on board with the master planning by January. So I'll keep you updated throughout the year. If you're interested in that, come to these meetings. I can tell you what's going on. We're in the beginning stages, so we're meeting bi-weekly with the project management company, and I'm very excited. I think we can do it, and I met with the president of Philadelphia University and told him of our plans and our ideas, and based on what he heard from me, he thinks we can do it, and he said to me, it's not a local story, it's a national story if you can pull it off. So I think we can, and I think we will, and I think we're going to have a performing arts building, and we're going to use that to make a better STEM wing, and I think we're going to use that to build other things for our students. So our goal is to raise $30 million. I know. It's a lot of money. And some of the alums that are on the faculty are like, oh my gosh, are you crazy? Well, at Philadelphia University, they wanted to raise $40 million. In their capital campaign, they finished. They stopped after 5 years at $63 million they raised. So, and they don't have 18,000 alums. And they probably don't have the love and support of an alumni base like we do. The alums that love this school. And the more I'm out there working with people and telling them where I work, everyone I meet, even if they went to Central, wants to be connected with this school. So I think we're in a position where we can raise the money. And if we can't, we can't, but I think we can, so we're going to try. So I just wanted to, we're starting that process, and it's at the beginning stage. And I'll let you know how the feasibility study goes. I mean, this company, Schultz Williams, that's what they do. I'm not a development person, I'm an educator. So we've really gone out to the best of the best to find out what we can raise, and they're going to give us the number. So I'll let you know when that's done. That should be done in around 3 months. And we're working with them right now to identify the 50 to 75 donors that are going to go see. We have 4 billionaires that are alums of this school. I don't know if you know that. So we have some people who can donate. I'll give you their names and addresses.
Soon.
The artist to their house.
That's really all I have right now. Today we had PSAT day. It's a little chaotic when you test 1,800 students at one time. We had to cut the schedule down, so we had 20-minute classes in the afternoon. You know, realistically, next year what I'd like to do, this is just looking ahead, is get the students here at 8, have them rested, relaxed, get them to fill out the paperwork, start at 9, and dismiss them at 1. I mean, it's you know, and I really, now that we're fully autonomous in the autonomous network, I kind of wanted to do it, but you know, I can't just turn 1,800 students loose on the street without making phone calls and letting you all know. So I'm letting you know now. Next year, that's probably the way. So I'm really done. Any questions for me? Wow, quiet group. All right, I'm out of here. Yes.
It's not urgent. Are you moving now? This our last chance to ask?
Yes. I do have to go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Just-
No, I have time for questions.
Okay, could you speak about the situation with substitutes?
Substitutes, basically, so, we started getting subs after I went on NPR, basically, is the answer.
So my
We-
son told me he's got 2 classes where basically they were told, if nobody shows up, just go to the library. And that's happened twice, and with all the school days missed, now that they're back in school.
What class was that?
I can't remember, I would say English, AP English?
To-
I can't remember,
Okay, subs is a mess. The district, I spoke with Marge Neff, the head of the SRC, and basically said this is probably the worst decision that they've made. And I would concur. Today we had a couple teachers out, we got subs, so it doesn't really affect what's going on, but when the subs aren't here, other teachers have to cover the classes, which takes away from the preparation time. And it's not fair to them, and we don't want that. We've never, ever dealt with an issue not having subs. We've always gotten subs 100% of the time. So this is such a different thing for us to not get substitute teachers. Substitute teachers overall are never the finest educator. I mean, I started as a sub, so I shouldn't say that. I feel like I'm a good teacher, but I started as a sub.
But I don't think everybody knows what's different about this year.
This year, the district went out and partnered with they privatized it. So we had a group of probably 10 retired teachers who worked at Central who would come. And they knew the program, and they knew what to do. Now we have new people coming in who don't know what we are about, and sometimes we don't have people coming in. Right now, the fill rate, from what I read today, Dr. Height said at City Hall today, City Council, that he's done with this organization, that they can't get the ship righted quickly. So my hope is that they change back. Well, even if they say, okay, they're out, and they go back to the old system where we got 100%, how many weeks is that going to take? So it's been frustrating to have to cover all these classes with people in-house. There were a couple instances where we said to go to the library and work in the computer room downstairs with independent work with Miss Burton in charge of the room. So we have done that if there's people not here. We had 2 teachers lose parents since the beginning of the year. We have 1 battling cancer. We have 1 who had a baby. So there were 4 that were out for things that happen. You know, you have 100 teachers, things are going to happen. It was just bad luck with those, because when the reporter called me and said, "Why do you have 7 teachers out?" I said, "There are legitimate reasons. It's not. We're still at 93% attendance with 7 out. So it's been a rough start with the subs. They need to fix it. They need to either hire more people." And they said that it's not about money. Well, if you're saving $10 million a year, then give them the $10 million a year and up to how much you're going to pay people. That's the real issue. They didn't want to. It's a private company. They don't want to pay people, so they cut their salary from $210 to $100 a day. And you can't get retired teachers to come out for that kind of money. They don't. It's not worth it for them to come. So I think you're going to see something in the next couple of weeks. They're either going to just break the contract and get rid of them and go back to the old way, and then we're going to be in great shape, or they're going to improve dramatically. So I apologize for that, because in the end it's my responsibility, but substitute for teachers or whatever the company is not. They promised a 75% fill rate starting the first day of school. The first day of school was 11% fill rate. That's not a little off. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes?
Will the plan to build the arts and music capacity include hiring more teachers for those departments?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how much space it's going to provide. I mean, the donor, and if he's given $10 million, he has a lot to say. Wants a small box, kind of 100-seat plus the capacity to go up to 600. So it would be basically double the size of our auditorium, what we're looking at. We're not even sure where we would put it. He wants it there. He wants it on the South Lawn. That's where he envisions it. But we're having conversations with other stakeholders now. He won't have the final say. Well, he may, but we're going to try to convince him why a better site is valid. I would like to add more seats to the school in terms of ability to go up. I mean, Dr. Heights told me he'd love to give me 3,000 kids. Now, I don't want 3,000 students, but I also am a city resident, and I know what this school is, and if we can open up to more kids and opportunities, I would like to do that. I don't know how much space it's going to provide. I mean, we're the donor, and if he's given $10 million, he has a lot to say. Wants a small box, kind of 100-seat plus the capacity to go up to 600. So it would be basically double the size of our auditorium, what we're looking at. We're not even sure where we would put it. He wants it there. He wants it on the South Lawn. That's where he envisions it. But we're having conversations with other stakeholders now. He won't have the final say. Well, he may, but we're going to try to convince him why a better site is valid. But one thing that was brought up at the last cabinet leadership team meeting we had was around that we have more teachers than classrooms. So we have teachers that float. And if we get space, then we could eliminate that kind of an issue as well. So this is where we're having the conversation about what we want to do, how big the building will be, how much classroom space versus how much performance space would be in there. And we've talked about moving robotics to the third floor middle wing where music is. Those big rooms are perfect for build rooms and robot rooms. And right now we have 130 kids in that club jammed in a little space in the basement. So we want to expand that and give them the space so they can really make it world class. So I don't know the answer to that. All that I rambled on, I don't really know. But I would like to offer more seats to kids if we could add 100 seats, 200 seats, probably not more than that though. Any other questions? Yes?
Are the classes leveled?
No, not yet. There are 11 math classes that are considerably over. We are supposed to get another math teacher as of October 19th. And then math will come into, they're probably not all going to be perfect though, to be honest with you. I've tried to explain it to people downtown. When you have 41 sections of advanced placement classes and you have 20 sections of IB classes, International Baccalaureate, you can't just fill everyone in 33 in a puzzle. It just doesn't work. In an elementary school, you can put 33 in K in 4th through 8th and 30, and you can look at those numbers. The kids don't move. But here, we have over 1,000 classes, so it's never going to be perfect. We'll have some probably a little under, and some probably right at 33, 34, right a little over. If I got the money from the state I was promised, we could have fixed that. We were promised 1.9 million more than what we have right now, but because there is no state budget finalized, we're sitting with no money. So that's the last thing I would say to you. You need to advocate. And the president of my union said the last paycheck that people will get is November 9th. Now, I haven't had that verified from Dr. Height. I'm telling you what the president of my union said. And if that happens, then there's not going to be public schools open. So Harrisburg needs to get it together, and they need to come to some resolution. They need to negotiate, and it's really going to affect kids. I think if 137,000 students don't have a place to go, it's going to speed up the process a little. But it shouldn't take this long to negotiate some kind of a deal. And hopefully it will get done. And don't go on the record saying we're closing the room. I didn't say that. I don't have that. I'm not privy to that. The members of the union here, the leadership have asked me, the teachers have asked me. I said, I don't know. They don't tell me. So I don't know. Any other questions? Wow.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.